Hey guys, welcome to PatternLab.London. Okay, so we've just released a brand new product on our site. So if you're not familiar with PatternLab, we create custom fitting, made to measure patterns that fit your measurements perfectly or accurately. So as you can see here, our new product is this gorgeous leggings block. We did a little photo shoot recently, and as you can see, they're looking lovely. They're a high-waisted fit, and we've got some little chevron detailing on here as well. However, our block, the basic block, is ready for drafting. So if we head on over to the, let's say, PatternLab website, which is here, as you can see, we're just going to go over to the lab, and then we're going to draft a block. So first of all, as I said, if you're new to PatternLab, then we have this profiles page, and what we do is essentially allows you to enter your measurements, and we give a little video tutorial that shows you how to take those measurements. So basically, I already have an existing profile, so let's go for Francesca, which is here. And what it does is essentially allows you to enter all of these different measurements of the body measurements, which allows you to draft different blocks, bodices, skirts, dancewear, etc. So dancewear, we're going to go for leggings. So these are basically the measurements that we need for our dancewear blocks, which is the leggings block at the moment. Okay, and we have the crotch length as well, which is 71.9. As I said, if you're new, you can always create a brand new profile. You can give it a name, and you can also add in your own measurements. So this can be test. Let's just click go. So once you've created your profile, we've already got our profiles. Let's go leggings draft. Click go. And as you can see, we can start entering these measurements. And we have a little, let's say, measurement tutorial that shows you how to take the neck measurement. And obviously, we have a little diagram as well that shows you also. Once again, if you click on dancewear, you don't have to enter all the measurements. You can just enter these ones here. And once again, we have videos that show you how to do that. So once we've actually entered our measurements, we can go to the lab. So we can then go lab. And the top left-hand corner here, you can just simply click on the profile that you've created. I've got quite a few. So once again, I'm just going to go for Francesca, which is here. But you can also choose a standard size. So you can look at our size chart here, obviously look at the bust, waist and hip, and then obviously decide which size works for you best. So we could always draft in a size UK 10, for example, if you want a standard block. As you can see, we have the leggings block selected. Now we're going to be adding a few more blocks to this as we go along. So body glove, leotard, which all come with various different design options. As you can see, the pattern is already drafting on the left. Next we have the fit tab, so you can either use our high stretch fit, which is our custom fit, and it works for a 75% stretch fabric. And we have a little guide here that shows you how to test your fabric to see if it's 75% stretch. We will be adding more fits, but you can also add your custom stretch fit here, which allows you to change the eases if you're a little bit more, let's say, advanced when it comes to pattern cutting. So you can add waist, hip, knee, etc. Now these are all negative eases because obviously we reduce the size of the block because it's stretch wear. Anyway, so next we have length. So this is one of the newest features that we're offering on PatternLab. You can now actually customize the design of your leggings. It's not just a standard block that fits you accurately. You can now customize it. So we can go for a low waist. As you can see, the block actually redrafts to give you that low waist. We can also go for a different length as well. So we can go for the crop, which is slightly shorter than the standard ankle length, mid-thigh, and we also have some like thigh and knee, etc. So you can play around with this block, make some like quite cute little shorts. But let's go for the crop block. And let's go next. We've got a waistband. So now we can either have no waistband at all, and you can add your own custom, let's say like maybe branded elastic band, or you can have an internal waistband which goes on the inside of your block. So this panel would then translate to the inside, giving you a beautiful seamless, let's say not sheer, but let's say a seamless minimalistic look. Or you can have an external waistband, which is slightly more popular, and this gives you a bit more support, okay, because it's double layer, or both of them are double layer. But you can also customize the waistband depth yourself, and this goes up to a maximum of 6.3 centimeters. So we can just put 6.3, or possibly we can make it 4, and that should draft the block for you. As you can see, we've got a slightly smaller waistband. And then when you're finished, you can simply just go to the purchase page. Let's click on the fit. Let's make sure it's high stretch fit. So luckily it shows you can't progress unless you've chosen or made selections in all of these little tabs here. And once again, we're using a UK 10, but you can also use a Francesca profile or whichever profile you require. I'm missing some measurements there. So let's just use the size 10 block. Okay, so let's just go to purchase. And now we offer this in two different formats. We have a PDF format, and this comes as a multi-page PDF document available in A4, A3, A2, A1, A0, and US letter, which is great for home printing and for, let's say, manual, pattern cutting. So for people that like to use paper. We also offer it as an e-pattern, which allows you to It's a fully editable SVG file and AI file. So you can open this up in Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape or CorelDRAW or whatever SVG editing software you have, and you can actually customize this, and it's a fully editable pattern. So you can obviously create more design details if you wish. Let's just go to I'm going to add the PDF pattern to my cart. And I'm also going to add the SVG pattern to my cart so we can see both selections here. And let's just click on the checkout button here, okay? So I'm an admin, so therefore I don't actually have to pay for this pattern. However, obviously you'd be taken through the payment process first of all before we actually get the blocks. Let's just click I've read the terms and conditions and click confirm. So now we have our order details, and this is accessible in the My Account and then orders, or My Library, sorry. Okay, so you go into your library, you can always access these orders up to, I think, about 2 months, I believe, you have access to those patterns. Okay, so we can go, first of all, let's go into the edit and preview and download the PDF pattern. Now we have this really fun little tool that allows you to, let's say, piece your patterns. Let's zoom out a little bit. So you can drag this around and it will create more or less pages depending on where you place these items. Now this block is pretty much, there's not much we can do with the placement here. This is pretty much the best we're going to get. But you can also select between, it's on A4 at the moment, you can have A3. Possibly that's a better fit. So look, if we move that up ever so slightly, we'll remove those bottom 2 pages, which is really handy. We have A2 and obviously A1, which is great, and then also A0. And we have US letter as well. So this just allows you to create whatever PDF pack you require. So we can maybe move this up a little bit. Perhaps we can move this over here. Also, if you hold down the Shift key, you can rotate these. There we go. So let's maybe rotate it, and then we can move it over here to create a better let's say, orientation. And you can save this layout, you can also start again, you can also add some notes to this block, maybe you want to add some details, and it'll save it all in this My Library system. So next we're going to go to Download US PDF. Okay, and what it'll do is, and you can do this at any time, you can download it as many times as you like, and it gives you this beautiful, let's say, document, shows you how to piece it together. And obviously it gives you the stretch guide that allows you to understand how much stretch fabric is required to create this block. So let's say 10 centimeters of fabric stretches to 17.5. This is a 75% stretch fabric. And here is obviously our pattern. And obviously we can then just go print and then piece it together. And we can also save this as well. So let's just go save as, and we can save it to our desktop. And we can rename it, or you can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to save it though. So let's just go back, okay, and we can then just, let's go back to, where is it? Order details, so here we go. We also have the E-pattern, so let's have a look at the E-pattern preview. And here is our E-pattern, okay, so once again, this is a fully editable digital SVG file, which is editable in Adobe Illustrator. And obviously we have the waistband and the panel. It doesn't come with seam allowance because obviously you probably want to add that after, once you've actually done some adjustments or created design elements on this block. Let's say in our image here, we put chevrons on ours. There you go, you can see that a little bit clearer in these photos. So we basically just sliced this block up into chevrons and then obviously created that. And we did that using this SVG or editable pattern. And we can just click download, and we can download it and save it to our desktop, and then we can open it up in Adobe Illustrator. Another really handy tool when you're looking at your SVG or about to download it, you can actually also at any point in time, going through the My Account and obviously finding that order in the library, you can open this up at any point, and you can also edit these measurements, okay? So let's say, for example, you've got the hip wrong or the waist wrong or possibly the knee or the ankle. You can go into edit measurements. And here you can obviously change those measurements and it will redraft the block automatically for you. So that's really, really handy, really helpful. Which is fantastic. So you can also play around with that. You can obviously just start to tweak and play with your block to get an absolutely perfect fit. Possibly your measurements aren't exactly accurate, which shouldn't be the case considering this block is so simple and the measurements are quite simple for this block. So let's click off, just click done. And then obviously it'll change the block. So there we go, it's starting to redraft and it will redraft it. So that's basically an overview of our brand new leggings block that's just been released. Once again, we are going to be adding to our stretch range over the next couple of months, and we'll be adding them to the lab as we go. I mean, not only do we have the dancewear stretch leggings block, we also have skirts, and we have bodices, torsos, and dresses. And obviously, once again, you can change the fit, the length, sleeve, etc. So yeah, I hope you have a little bit of fun with that, and I hope that was informative. If you want to get to the leggings block, just simply navigate to patternlab.london, lab, shop, and then blocks, or just simply type in patternlab.london, which will take you to our homepage. there we go, and just click Lab, and then you can obviously start drafting. Once again, if you want to create custom fit items for your specific measurements, you want to create a profile, or you can use our standard UK 10 size block, and it applies to all of our blocks. Okay, actually, I just want to show you that editable SVG file in Adobe Illustrator. So obviously we've downloaded that block just from going to our account. And let's just open it up in Adobe Illustrator. So this is actually the pattern. As you can see, it's an SVG file, so it means you can actually edit this pattern. You can, let's say, you can move all these elements individually. You can, let's say, create this lovely chevron detail. You can then slice the block up. Essentially, you can pattern cut in Adobe Illustrator, and it is a fully editable file. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to pattern cut this in Adobe Illustrator here, because on our website we actually have some really fantastic courses and tutorials. So, for example, pattern making course. Go to the courses tab. Just go pattern making course. And essentially what this does is it shows you how to use Adobe Illustrator as a pattern cutting platform, which is really helpful. So we have setting up a workspace in Adobe Illustrator specifically for pattern cutting. We also have an overview of the cutting table, blah, 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 blah. We have all this information. So essentially it shows you how to, let's say, edit these blocks and actually pattern cut in Adobe Illustrator, which is really handy. And they're all completely free. So yeah, feel free to use those and have a bit of fun. Once again, that is on the courses tab here. And we have other courses and tutorials as well, which are really handy. Okay. Yeah, enjoy those blocks, and I'll see you next time.